What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we're going to be bantering about the top 10 left fielders in the game right now. But before I get into my list, let me know down in the comments, who are your top 10 left fielders right now in Major League Baseball? MLB Network does this countdown each and every single offseason, where Brian Kenny is joined by a former Major League player to give their list for the top 10 left fielders in the game. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments, or you can find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, and we can keep the conversation rolling there. But let's get into the top 10 left fielders right now, beginning with number 10. As we look at number 10 on my list, it is Kris Bryant of the Colorado Rockies. Yes, it was a very interesting and curious signing when the Rockies would sign Kris Bryant to the massive deal that they did. But there's very little question that this player is a type of player that earned a big time money contract. As a former most valuable player and rookie of the year, Kris Bryant is really the type of player you do want to build your foundation around. Yes, injuries played a huge factor in limiting him for the Rockies in 2022, but I think that a healthy Kris Bryant in 2023 is really going to bounce back in a very big way and truly start to lead the Colorado Rockies towards contention once again. Now, is it going to be in 2023 that they contend? Maybe not, but Bryant is not going to be the reason that they falter. I think that for Kris Bryant, looking at what his skill set is, his versatility, his ability at both hitting for average type and hitting for power is really going to be what he is able to kind of provide as a leader on this Colorado Rockies team. So for me, a healthy Kris Bryant easily makes the top 10 left fielders right now. Now, number 9 on my list is the newest Chicago White Sox, Andrew Benintendi. Benintendi, to me, is one of the more underrated, consistent players in Major League Baseball. I think that when you look at his ability to put the bat on the ball, put the ball into play, this is a guy who absolutely changes the course of a lineup. When the New York Yankees acquired Benintendi, it was because of his hit tool, his hit ability, being able to be a little bit of a different bat. And for the White Sox, it's going to be the same thing. There's a lot of guys on that White Sox team that tend to look to hit the ball over the fence. Benintendi is going to look to put the ball in play. Having that type of ability, that type of mindset in the lineup, it's really going to filter down through that White Sox lineup, and I think they're going to get a very, very good season out of a healthy Andrew Benintendi. Now, number 8 on my list is Ian Happ. When you look at Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs, to me, this is one of the most impressively underrated, versatile players in Major League Baseball. Typically, when you have a player that is this versatile, you get a lot more notoriety for his skills and his talent. But to me, Ian Happ doesn't get nearly enough recognition on different places in Major League Baseball in terms of being one of the best. I think that for Ian, this is going to be a season that really puts his name on the map for all of Major League Baseball, not just the serious baseball fans or serious Cub fans. I think that there's an opportunity for Happ to really start to solidify himself in a very big way and being able to put himself in a position to solidify his place as one of the 10 best left fielders in the game today. Now, number 7 on my list is Jocko Peterson of the San Francisco Giants. I think that when you look at Peterson, this is a guy who has typically been a platoon player, but that to me was more of a result of being a part of the Dodgers for so long. I think that when you look at what Peterson can be, this is one of the more impactful left-handed bats in all of Major League Baseball. I think there's an opportunity for him going back to San Francisco on a one-year kind of prove-it deal by accepting the qualifying offer, that he really starts to give himself a ton of more opportunities to really place himself amongst the upper echelon of left fielders in the game. I think that there's an opportunity for him to continue to grow, get better at his craft, and really solidify himself as one of the very top best left fielders in the game. As we look at number 6 on my list, it is Randy Arozarena of the Tampa Bay Rays. Back in the postseason of 2020, Arozarena would have a huge breakout performance. He would follow that up with a very nice 2021 season, and while 2022 was a bit of a regression, this is still going to be one of the very best players in baseball. I think that he is still learning his craft, and with learning that craft and growing in his skill set, Arozarena is only going to show even more improvement than he already has. To me, this is going to be a guy who has the opportunity to really play every single day for Tampa, be in that lineup in and day out, and really start to better every single aspect of his game. I think that there's a lot to really love about this player, and being able to put himself in a position to succeed is really going to be where he and the Tampa Bay Rays will find the best spot and talent for a guy like Randy Rosario. When you look at what he is going to be capable of in 2023, I think that he really bounces back in a huge way, and has a monster campaign for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, number 5 on my list is Tyler O'Neill of the St. Louis Cardinals. To me, this is going to be one of the very best players in Major League Baseball, not even just limiting to left fielders or outfielders. I think that Tyler O'Neill is going to be one of the very best in Major League Baseball. Now, injuries played a huge factor for this player. If he can go out and play in 145, 155 games for the Cardinals, this is going to be a guy whose numbers absolutely will translate. I think that there's a big time opportunity for him to bounce back in 2023, potentially even be the comeback player of the year after missing so many games because of injury, and put himself on the map as one of the very best in baseball. When you look at what he is capable of being as far as one of the young, talented core that the Cardinals are really building around, this is a guy who can really make a huge name for himself, solidify himself as not just one of the Cardinals Hall of Famers in the future, but a potential Hall of Famer in Major League Baseball. Now, number 4 on my list of the top 10 left fielders right now is Steven Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians. Kwan, to me, has a very unique skill set. This is a guy who plays very good defense, good base runner, and hits for a very high average. This is a player that, while maybe not being the biggest home run threat, it's going to be a guy that puts the ball in play. This is a pesky batter at the top of the order. He would go through the very beginning part of the 2022 season without a swing and miss. This is the type of guy who has the ability to really put the bat on the ball and put himself in a very good position to succeed. Being able to have that ability, being able to go out and really not worry about what the pitcher is trying to throw you, because your whole focus, your entire presence at the plate is to just put the ball in play and let things play from there. To me, Steven Kwan is going to be one of these guys that continues to improve and gets better and better each and every single year. I think that with having the type of hit ability that he has, it is only going to mature each and every single season. This, to me, is going to be a guy that can quickly vault up this list of the top 10 left fielders right now. Now, as we get into the rarefied air, the top 3 left fielders in the game, we begin at number 3 with Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber is going to be a bat that absolutely plays no matter where you put him. Yes, could he possibly be listed more as a DH? Sure. But in terms of where the Phillies are going to be playing him, it is going to be in left field. I think that he did an adequate job to be able to cover the ground needed in Citizens Bank Park. That is a much more hitter-friendly park. But it's really going to be on the strength of his bat where Kyle Schwarber really makes a name for himself. This is a guy who can hit for average, hit for power, and really be a game-changing presence in the lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. I think that when you look at how he played, especially throughout the postseason, this is a huge postseason performer. One of the best, in my opinion, over the last several years. We would see even as far back as he was with the Cubs in the 2016 World Series, where he basically missed all of the season, came back for the postseason, the World Series, and made a huge statement. To me, Kyle Schwarber is one of the best bats in Major League Baseball, and obviously, easily one of the 10 best left fielders in the game. Now, as we get into the number 2 left fielder in the game, it is Yordan Alvarez. Much like with Kyle Schwarber, this is a guy who could potentially be listed as a designated hitter, but he's going to be listed with the left fielders, and with good reason. This is a potent bat playing in a much smaller left field in Minute Maid Park in Houston. Yordan doesn't have to cover as much ground, but he's still going to be a solid enough defender to where his bat really stands out in a big way. You obviously know the big time postseason presence that he had in 2022. Literally every home run he hit was a game-winning home run for the Houston Astros. Yes, when you have that kind of presence, when you put that kind of position when you're put in that kind of position to succeed and you succeed at it, you're going to really make a name for yourself in a very big way. I think that for the 2023 season, Yordan Alvarez is going to find himself competing for the most valuable player. Yes, he was already number 3 in the listings in 2022, and I think that his skill set and his talent continues to grow, and he only can go up from there. Now, as we get into the number 1 left fielder in the game, I think it's very, very clear, very, very obvious. Juan Soto is the top left fielder in the game. Soto's moving back over from right field to left field, where he began his career with the Washington Nationals. When you look at what Soto is, again, I've said it multiple times on any single video here on Baseball Banter Broadcast about Juan Soto. This is the modern day Ted Williams. His eye at the plate, his understanding of the strike zone is unprecedented. I think that when you look at what his ability is to be able to put the bat on the ball, to understand how to work counts, to be able to get himself into a position to succeed, is one of the very best in baseball history. Yes, bold claim to make, but one of the very, very best. Juan Soto isn't going to be the most stellar, spectacular Gold Glove defender, but what he does at the plate elevates him to such a degree that this is going to be one of the best players that we ever see in Major League Baseball history. To me, as he continues to stand, as he continues to grow in his craft, this is going to be a guy that further cements his Hall of Fame resume and legacy, in my opinion. I think that for Juan Soto going into this 2023 campaign, it's going to be a very big year for him. He's going to really put himself in a position to show the world that this is one of the 5 best players in Major League Baseball and the number 1 left fielder in the game. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know who are your top 10 left fielders right now in Major League Baseball. You can do so by leaving a comment down below or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, and we can keep the conversation rolling. If you want to show more support for the channel, you can do so by subscribing down below on this YouTube channel, hitting the bell for post notifications, so each and every time we drop a new broadcast here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast, you will be notified. And if you want to show even more support, you can head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com, our merchandise shop, and you can buy any of the merchandise that we have on the site, as well as using any one of the number of promo codes that we have running at the banner on top. We are doing a giveaway here as we hit 500 subscribers for this YouTube channel. We are going to be giving away one of these thermos from the Baseball Banter Broadcast. Now, specific ways to be entered into the contest giveaway: you have to be a subscriber here on YouTube. As a subscriber here on this YouTube channel, that enters you in to the draft that we're going to be running for this particular giveaway. If you want to gain extra entries, there are 3 other options, 3 other ways to do so. You can follow us on our Instagram page under the name Baseball Banter Broadcast, as well as our TikTok page under the same name, Baseball Banter Broadcast, or you can follow us over on Twitter at banter_baseball. Those are the only ways to get entered into this contest, just by following us on those pages on social media, being a subscriber to this channel. You gain yourself extra entries by doing all 4. So make sure you keep it locked in by hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, as the best way to win the giveaway, but also to keep up to date with the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.